Hello everybody and welcome back to the Crypto Potluck. In this video we're going to be jumping into some technical analysis. We'll try and figure out what is going on with the price action at these levels, where am I expecting some consolidation, and really what is going on. So as far as everything is concerned, before we jump into the lesson, I do want to start off with a quote. It is your job to make money, not to be correct as a trader. This quote I feel like is very important to understand because as a trader you need to change your opinions constantly. The whole thing of being a successful trader is being able to be dynamic based on the facts. Be bullish if outcomes change against you. You need to be able to accept it and move on. So with that, regardless, I've made some really good calls as far as price action is concerned because I base my technical analysis off of wedges and angles. As far as wedges are concerned, I have been making the argument that Bitcoin has been playing within two wedges. We have the blue wedge, which is outlined right here, but then we have the yellow wedge. Now, I want to make a, I guess, an announcement as far as what I believe is currently going on with the technical analysis. I was originally expecting a November-December breakout as far as where we could really start to see some momentum form in Bitcoin. However, it looks like the time frame is narrowing faster. And the reason for this is I think right here is going to be signifying where the tide really started to change, where the floor was ultimately established, and where we started to find some ground to gain our momentum. And I think that, I used this in general to tell that we were going to jump up to 8,000. We did that, and I told you guys to consolidate, but I think that more happened in this run than we can see just with the naked eye. And the big thing to point out is that the angle going up to this blue wedge, it's steep, right? And the angle that is going now, it's changed direction, right? So this is very, very important in figuring out what is going to happen with the price. So I'm going to jump into the 1 hour and we'll see if we can understand this a little bit better. So here we are, and what am I looking for as far as our top? Where are we right now, and where can we expect to get to? As far as everything is concerned, there are a few things I want to point out with price action, right? Bitcoin, we have this holding us down. All right, this is why I signified this orange line, but we have this angle holding us up. Going into this, right, I think that we are playing within this channel, of course, but where are we expecting to see us to start to collapse? So I think right now we might start to see some initial collapse. I would hope that would be extremely healthy because we did see a nice run. We do know exactly, and I'll take this down for one more minute. We do know what this jump was caused by, and that's by the BitMEX, exchange being taken down and shorts not having the opportunity to short the market during that time. But once the update was done, we definitely saw the collapse far, and we collapsed fast. This would have been the most optimistic time to get into the market. Now we are at the highs again. What I would love to see, okay, because this is why I draw this middle line, is because whenever we just draw an original a channel, right, we can see that in the beginning it makes sense. It might have been a little bit closer in at the beginning, but eventually we start to see the complete width of the channel, and if it continues to expand as it should, if we're in a bullish, time in the market, it starts to get to the point where it starts to get a little too ridiculous as far as where you're expecting to fall down to. I think that we have approached that point. So what would I like to see, right? As far as consolidation is concerned, there's two outcomes that I'm looking at right now. As far as Ichimoku trading is concerned, I would like to see us consolidate on this Ichimoku cloud before we can get a breakout. That would be really nice. Relatively, I would try and sell at this this orange line, but I do think that there's a high likelihood that we are going to collapse, at least where the middle is concerned, right? So ideally, what I would love to see is for us to collapse to the middle before we can relatively get a breakout up to here. Now, this point is very important to signify because if we jump back into the 1 day, we can see that this does bring us underneath, you know, basically this pocket that I've been calling for over a month now, telling you guys where we would likely fall within. So underneath this Ichimoku cloud, we can see that there's this little pocket, right? This is where I'm expecting us to fall. So this is going to be, you know, where I'm expecting to consolidate, which is going to be at 6,840. I think that that is really going to be our max. And then ideally, what I would like to see is once we break down from this level, for us to eventually collapse back down to the floor, leading us into our October breakout. So that would lead for an early October breakout, where we can break out from this wedge. I think that that is the most likely scenario. We could, if we're extremely bullish, we could hit at the very top of this pocket, which would bring us to about the $7,100 mark. But I am expecting some consolidation soon, so it's just a day-by-day thing with trading. So let's dive into some other coins. We have to go, of course, go into Ethereum, because Ethereum is one of the main coins that you should always just have a general idea of what's going on. As far as Ethereum is concerned, it's weak. It's really weak. And if we go into the 1 day, and if I can zoom out, we can see how weak this is. So, you know, I don't see Ethereum really recovering at these levels. I do think that we are going to get another fall down. I am with Tone Bays as far as Ethereum holding all the shit coins. And I've been calling, you know, at least at the $500 mark that Ethereum's a shit coin and it's going to collapse farther. And that's all we've seen. And I don't think that there's any proof to see that we're going to get any life back into, you know, this market as of right now. Relatively, I think that the knife is going to eventually fall to 185. This is where you can try to catch the knife. Alternatively, this would be an actual good point to catch the knife. If you want to do, you know, one buy right here and then have your DCA at, you know, 182, then you can play both ends. But, you know, these two levels, you know, they're both historic. So relatively, as far as Ethereum's market cap is concerned, this isn't a trade I will be getting into because I do think that the market cap could take more of a hit as better technology is able to show itself within cryptocurrency. So let's dive into my best trade of the month, which I've been calling since the beginning of the month, which is Substratum. Substratum. So Substratum's been a wonderful trade. I've rode this up, you know, since the floor, and we've rode it all the way up to, you know, I think it reached, you know, 60% at its peak from its lows. So this has just been a relatively good trade. I sold at the Ichimoku cloud any of the last positions I had left, but alternatively, right now we're at a point where it's news, right? And what we are waiting for is Tuesday, I think. I'm not going to be holding any Substratum Tuesday because that's whenever the announcement's going to be. You know, you might get a pump from Substratum during the announcement because I know that Data Dash is also going to be covering it, and he has about you know, 250,000 subscribers, and he covers cryptocurrency. So that's pretty impressive. That's a lot of people that can invest. So if the news is worthy, right? Ideally, what we could see is us to break through this cloud and for us to develop a floor within this channel. That would be the most healthy scenario. That would lead us to, from this level, we could expect, you know, about another 40% return at its highs for most optimistic scenario, right? So that would make sense. And the last time that we were able to do this, it's been a while, but it was April, you know, April 10th of or 11th of 18 is when we were really starting to break out from this Ichimoku cloud. But regardless, if we start breaking within it, I will try and, you know, get back in to Substratum if I can. But as far as hitting the top, I pulled out, and I'm going to wait until I can get some more price action because I've already rode it up for, you know, 60% right now. So I'm fine with that, and I'm looking for more optimistic trades. One of those trades that I'm looking at is going to be Civic. I think Civic's very interesting. I know when and when not to talk about Civic, and I want to signify these because I've caught both of these jumps as far as Civic's concerned, which have been amazing because each one of these jumps was, you know, over 100%. Return, you know, that was 100 and that was 142. So that's how last month I did really well as far as TA is concerned. But as far as, I'm going to move into the 1 hour so we can get something more realistic. But 1 hour, we are breaking from the clouds. What I would like to see is for us, as I kind of pointed out already, for us to kind of consolidate onto the cloud. And then if we can continue to hold it, that would be very, very bullish. But this is just a coin that I wanted to show you is actually getting some love right now in the market. So if we can get Bitcoin to take a hit in the market, and this is a coin that I might be looking to enter in. Other than that, let's dive into some other coins that I'm looking at. Ontology. I think Ontology has been one of the great trades that another trade that I called. I pulled out, you know, as soon as we hit, you know, the highs of 100% return from the floor. But yeah, no, Ontology has been a really good trade this month. It's just been really, really strong. And even today, like today's been a pretty limbo day in the market where a lot of altcoins got hit, but Bitcoin's been holding its floor. But there have been a few coins that have fought the grain and they have just continued to perform, and one is Ontology. And this is honestly an easy catch, you know, and if anybody would have been watching this, and basically if you were able to establish you know, this easy wedge. So what am I referring to is right here we can see that we have, you know, this clear wedge in the market, and as soon as we broke out from the wedge, you know, it was just off for the races, and we've been able to sustain, you know, this nice little jump. This might, you know, I honestly am expecting us to hopefully consolidate, so then I can buy back into this, you know, coin. But really good on Ontology. It's been one of the best performers this month. As far as where it peaked at 130% return. I cashed out at like, you know, 100 or something. But this has just been an amazing coin to be trading within the market. So other than that, let's dive into a few more picks that I have. Monero. Okay, so I've been looking at Monero recently. Monero has been a really interesting coin. It hasn't had the jump as far as an Ontology jump that I've been looking for, but I'm starting to see us break back above, you know, this Ichimoku cloud, which is very, very good. I took in a position at these levels right here. Literally, I was doing some technical analysis and I saw the opportunity. I was like, all right, I'll make a trade on this. So I did take a position right here. But ideally, if we can squeeze a little bit more bull market out of Bitcoin and out of the market, I think that, you know, we can at least see, you know, an easy 6% jump. Relatively, I set this line as my stop loss out. So regardless, if we do fall, you know, it's not a far drop, you know, because we're only dealing with you know, a few cents, because we're going from 980 down to like 150 or 162 would be my stop loss out. So I'd lose a few cents on the trade, but in general, you know, for the return that we could see, if we can get that Ontology breakout, it would be really good. So if I could get at these levels, and if we can get that 20% or more, I don't think that we'll, you know, exceed this, but I think that this is probably the cap that we can see. But this would, you know, be like an Ontology breakout. The thing about Monero is that Monero is a privacy coin. It's very integrated in the deep web, and for that reason, I know it has an ecosystem and I know it has value. So with that, I'm just trying to see what is going on with the, you know, with the price. But as far as you know, volume's concerned, you know, it does look like the volume's kind of hampering down. That is kind of worrying me. But the other technical analysis indicators are just saying, you know what, take the position on this. So I took a position on this, and we'll see how it plays out. VeChain. So Vin has been another really good player that I'm watching right now. It saw a lot of love and volume. Right now, we are not seeing that volume, so I'm not entering in the market right now. But I would, you know, this is a coin that I do have bots set up to hopefully catch extreme falls like this in general, because that's like a 24% fall on a 1 hour candle, right? And if you were able to catch that, you know, that would have been an amazing trade, because you would have been able to ride off of that all the way up to like 54% return. So in general, what are you looking for as a trader? I like these extremes. The more extreme the price fluctuation, the more thirsty I get in the mouth, and I just really just want to take a bite out of the trade. So this is just a coin that I would definitely be looking at setting up a bot around, but just a really strong performer right now in the market. So I just wanted to put that to you guys' attention. Other than that, I don't want this video to extend too long, and I want to get out another video basically talking about HassOnline. But if you guys are looking to better prepare yourself, better trade the market, I highly suggest jumping into our Discord group, because we do have a group of wonderful, really talented traders that are willing to help you out, and basically it's a potluck of information. So join our Discord. We're really friendly there. Other than that, at the end of the day, you are your own investor, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day trading the market.